What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Signature and Finisher podcast. I'm your host, DS Walk, and joining me today is the guy with the 5 letters, No Yeet. That's his
I was
one
gonna
of
say
his
that's
new names.
six,
That's
but
six. Oh, 6 letters.
no yeet,
Six,
no yeet. Yeah,
six, no yeet.
it's 6 letters, 2 words.
6 letter, 2 words, no yeet. Jamie.
Yes, yes, yes.
Before Jamie go to his rant and off topic, um, on behalf of the Signature and Finisher podcast, Jamie and myself would like to send our condolences to Charlie Kirk, his wife, and children. If you guys have been paying attention to the news, Charlie Kirk was killed today at a speaking engagement that he had down in University of Utah Valley. Um, I just want to say that me and Jamie, we had different views on a lot of things, but the one thing we do appreciate is life. And no matter what our views are, we like this. No matter what. I don't care. This is hard, man. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care how you feel about a person. At the end of the day, it's not worth taking a life because it's just disagreement. That's all it is. It's disagreement. It's not worth taking somebody's life and taking that person away from his family because you disagree with what he says and how he feels about America or what's going on with our youth or church, however, whatever it is. You gotta understand Charlie Kirk was a family man. He had some family, but Charlie Kirk was also he had a big following. People was big fans of Charlie Kirk. Now, I'm not one of his biggest supporters, but I respect Charlie Kirk for standing up for what he believed in and what he wanted to preach to the youth and to people. So, with that said, um, my condolences go out to him and his family. And I know Jamie might have something to say. As a matter of fact, I know Jamie got something to say.
I wasn't going to. I was just gonna let you do your thing, but
Uh,
no, I've been a big Charlie Kirk fan for a long time. Like you said, he's a big family guy, and a lot of what he says, people would take it as, oh well. A lot of times I'd hear people say, well, he hates women. No, he doesn't hate women. He was a big advocate of having the woman at home to raise the family. And then people are like, well, that's not reasonable. Women have to work. And you're right. In this day and age, because of income and things like that and the cost of everything, women do have to work. But he also advocated for raising wages so that we could have a parent in the home at all times to help raise the family. It's not that he wanted women cooking and cleaning. It was, if the woman was the one making the money, have the man home, somebody at home to raise a nuclear family, to raise morals, raise good human beings that don't do these types of things. So, and I mean, the whole premise of what he was doing with these campus things was prove me wrong. I'm going to say something, prove me wrong. Ask me a question. I'll tell you my side. You give me your side. That's what all these speaking engagements have been. And a lot of times they're hilarious. And it wasn't always political. I mean, I'd seen multiple videos in the last couple of weeks of people asking him about Jordan versus LeBron. And he would roast people on why Jordan was 10 times better than LeBron. But like he could talk about anything. And that was one of the endearing things about him is that he can talk about anything at the drop of a hat. Not a lot of people can do that. Um, but I think he did kind of get a bad rap because he's associated on the red side. So people automatically tried to dismiss a lot of what he said, but he did have good intentions behind what he was saying.
he
And I
did.
think people forget that.
Yeah, he did. When I grew when I when me and Jamie when we come from, when you say a lot of things, there are consequences. And whether when you say those things with good intentions or bad intentions, it doesn't matter. You don't take a life because you don't like a person what they say And he is right. He been on these what I call a campus tour, just debate kids. Like he said, prove him wrong. What he said, and so far nobody hasn't proved him wrong. Look, we're not saying this because he passed away. We're saying it because it's facts. But like I said, you don't take a life for someone because of what they believe in.
Well, that and what he was doing was giving people a healthy forum to
Yeah,
say what they want to say. Maybe it'll change their opinion. Maybe it'll change his opinion if you give him something good enough.
yeah,
But it opens up conversation. And then somebody goes and takes this type of forum to do that. You're not going to see a lot of this anytime soon from anybody because nobody's going
right,
to risk it.
right, right. And one more thing, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't agree with a lot of things he said. And I think some of it just is funny to me. But the one thing I will say is that if the president of this country wants to clean the streets of crime so that families, even young families or big families who about to add a new addition, be able to walk down the street, go to the park, go to the corner store, make a home safe. If he wants to clean these streets, by all means, do it. I support that. So we need to put our hate aside, put our anger aside, put any negativity aside, and we gotta come together, man. Life is too short. God gave us life so we can enjoy it, not take it away. So with that said,
Now we're going to talk about people beating each other up.
well, yeah, beat each other unless you Warlow and you can't beat nobody up because you're hurt again.
I I don't mean it, but I just want to say a dude just needs to retire. Like, stick to acting. Just play the muscle bound berserker guy on some movies, TV shows, and like every time he comes back, he's back for like 2 weeks, and then he gets like he tore his pec this time. He's gonna be out probably 9 months to a year.
69 months.
Six with his extensive injuries, it's probably gonna be closer to 9 months to a year.
Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Warlow, who just made his dramatic return 2 weeks ago from an injury that he suffered prior. He was out all the 24. He's been out since 24, and he was
Beginning
filming.
24, yeah.
Yeah, and he was filming American Gladiators for two seasons worth of American Gladiators, and he made his return at Forbidden Door. Attacked it, Prince Nana, and Swerve Strickland. And during that attack, and a funny looking angle, he tore his pectoral muscle. So he would be out 69 months, in which, that's kind of sad for Warlow because he's injury prone and he has so much talent, but he's always on the sideline. He never gave us a reason to stand behind him or cheer for him because he was always on the sideline with me and Jamie, eating popcorn, having drinks, watching wrestling.
I don't need popcorn. I do the other things, but I don't need popcorn.
Well, that was just saying. I don't like popcorn either, unless it's the caramel candy popcorn. Then yes, I do.
That's fair.
But he always on the sideline with me and Jane watching the football games. I mean, he was on the sideline with us watching the Lions getting smacked by the Packers.
Yeah,
and watching the Raiders beat the Titans barely.
That was my one bright spot. My Raiders won.
Yeah, we have plans. Knowing me and Jamie Warlow, we have plans to go watch a Celtics game in Boston. I'm glad those plans going to happen now since he ain't going to be wrestling. See the Pistons against the Celtics or the Cavaliers against it, whatever you want to call it. But anyhow, the man is out. The man is out for a while.
It sucks too because clearly they had pretty big intentions of doing something pretty big with him, of getting him right back into a sort of Strickland role. So.
Well, yeah, he was part of
especially with the Don Callis family. Yeah, bringing him in with Don Callis and then putting him right into a Swerve Strickland Prince Nana thing was obviously going to give him a big push.
Yes, it would. Unfortunately, Swerve is out about the same amount of time. So, that feud wouldn't happen until both guys are healthy.
hopefully they can pick that feud back up right when they both come back, just going right after each other again. But I doubt it. Things are going to
Yeah,
progress by then. So
yeah. It's AEW. They don't make things make sense.
who
Allegedly,
knows?
all the
AJ
time.
Styles might be showing up in AEW by that to get a good final run in. Because if you want me to go off topic, I mean that's where it is the AJ Styles comments off air. Um,
I love this.
realistically, I mean, he kept saying he didn't want to wrestle past 50. He signed, I think, until February of next year because he signed a 1 year contract.
Yes, it's February.
It's already half over.
I heard it's February, but
That's
then
what
I
I thought it
heard
was
that
February.
it could be the spring of 26 as well.
February, spring. I mean, it's still not too far apart. But either way, I wouldn't be surprised to see him jump over to TNA or AEW to get one actual official run back to retire on because what they're doing with him right now, this is either a pretty good work that they were building up, but again, I don't see why they would do that when it was off air before the match started. If they really wanted it to be a work, he could have done it on Twitter. Would have been a smarter thing if they wanted it to look like a shoot type thing. Um, I think he probably is kind of frustrated because they haven't done anything with him in 2 years. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him show up in TNA for a final run or even AEW to get like 1 year of kind of like Brian Danielson when he announced that he was wrapping it up. He was getting top tier match after top tier match after top tier match, helping put guys over. I don't think it's that he needs to win. He just wants to be in relevant matches to show what he can still do.
I don't see AJ going to AEW or I don't see AJ going to AEW. TNA, yes. And I only the reason I only say that is that AJ Styles got his biggest push, his career. When we think AJ Styles is TNA and everything he done in TNA in the X division, world champion, the feud he had with who was Bobby Lashley. Did he feud with Pete?
He had stuff with Petey. I mean,
Pete
basically
Wood,
anybody that was in
yes.
TNA at that time, he had wrestled.
Samoa
So
Joe.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to AEW just because there's a lot of talent there that he's never wrestled before, and it would give him an opportunity with people he's never been in the ring with.
Yeah, true. But the only guy that I can see him wrestling in AEW is the one guy he been wanting to wrestle for longest, Kenny Omega. Not saying he won't wrestle Katesha or
Well, he
anybody
would
else.
definitely get shots at all those guys. That's what I'm saying is if he signed a 1 year contract with AEW, he could wipe all of that off his wrestling bucket list. And I mean, Kenny Omega's not going to be around much longer either. He's
No,
talked about it. I mean, he's
no.
got the health issues, the diverticulitis, and all that kind of stuff going on. Plus, he's been around for a long time too.
And no, that he
Injuries are going to
put
start piling up.
and know that he put his body through a lot of hell, especially when he was wrestling in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see it. AJ going to AEW unless he feels like you said, unless he feels like, you know what, I got a few more matches in me. I got 1 year.
Well,
And I
Tony
just want to
Khan's known for
wrestle.
throwing around a lot of money to get you to have a few more matches.
Hey man, it's
I
like I
wouldn't blame.
said,
I
all
wouldn't
money
hate it
ain't
at
good
all.
money. All money ain't good money.
There's a lot of good matches. There's way better matches he could have in AEW than he'd have in TNA.
But that's true. And you're 100% right. The only thing I have a problem with AJ Styles and AEW is that they won't tell the story. It'll just be a match. It will be no build up. It'll just be a wrestling match.
No,
And we need more than that.
I think they would probably do something pretty significant with Kenny Omega. They'd
What
probably have him go through like a gauntlet of guys to get to Kenny, but
that's
they
a
would have something.
that's a given. Because both guys want to wrestle each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you really don't have to do a gauntlet match to get to Kenny Omega. You probably, Kenny Omega as is right now, and he's a baby face. So
Yeah.
that would probably just be, hey, you're here, I'm here. Let's get this going. It'll be a dream match for the fans. But other than that, I mean, it will be no build up to the match. It will be no
Yeah.
build up to any of the fantasy matches in the AEW for AJ Styles.
But with
you
that
want that
point, you
story
don't
told.
necessarily need a build up. You just need to see those two in the ring together. Sometimes you can go and have a match without having build up,
You can.
and it's fine. And when you know it's an AJ Styles retirement tour kind of thing, people are still going to want to see that no matter what. Just like the John Cena thing. John Cena is showing that he's a better wrestler than people ever give him credit for, but he's no AJ Styles.
No. AJ Styles to me is still one of the best in ring
AJ Styles is one
wrestlers.
of the three best wrestlers of all time. Period.
Yes, yeah, in ring wrestlers. Yes, he is top 3. He might be top 2. He
That would
might
be
be top
preference,
2.
but I mean, if you're just looking at overall skill set and what he could actually do,
Yes.
he's definitely a top 3 of all time.
Who you got? Who got the 2 ahead of him?
If we're just talking about actual ability,
I'm just talking about everything. Just everything.
uh, number one, I mean, for me, is just Macho Man because he could do everything even outside of the ring. But even in the ring, like you talk to any of the old time wrestlers or hear interviews with them, and they said nobody knew where they were in the ring or where their opponent was in the ring or anything better than Jake the Snake Roberts or Macho Man. Just from knowing and the ability. Nobody could jump off the top rope at the time like Macho Man could. Like nobody was doing it that way. So for me, it would be him as number one. Number two, I'm not a Ric Flair fan, so I know people are probably expecting to see Ric Flair. I think Ric Flair's highly overrated for what he did at the time. I know it was good, but not a Ric Flair fan. I would probably have to say Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart.
I have Bret Hart and Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson would have been right behind AJ Styles for me.
They, to me, those 2 guys, technical wrestlers, but they can wrestle any style.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel. Oh well, Kurt Angle as well. I can't forget about Kurt. Those
Kurt's more
guys.
subjective to me.
He was what?
More subjective. Like, I'm just a big Kurt Angle fan. Like, he could do it all, but I'm looking at guys that like could go up on the top rope. Not necessarily that they had to do it all the time, but guys that could do everything. I mean, if you're going at just overall ability, Undertaker would have to be up there pretty high too because he could do it all, and especially for his size. But I'm not going to put him in the top 5 because you've got guys like Bryan Danielson. You've got Kenny Omega. I think gets a little too much credit just because he's got a couple flashy moves. But
I think he's
more of a striker.
I'd
put him in top 10 for sure.
Yeah, he's more of a striker, but he's also a guy that can put on a show, entertain you.
Oh yeah, his Jericho matches with Kenny Omega and Jericho were great in New Japan.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, stuff he's done in AEW has been great, but
yeah,
that's the problem is everything's subjective, and it's like, what era are you going from? Because wrestling was different in the 60s, 70s, 80s than it is now. And I mean, you can make a case that all the best wrestlers were in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Well, yeah, our generation. But, I still
mean, Rob Van Dam would have to be up there. I mean, some of your just technical wrestlers, old school Eddie Guerrero would have to be up there. I'm talking Eddie Guerrero before WWE, like ECW, WCW Eddie Guerrero. Lance Storm, from a technical standpoint, would be up there. But if we're looking at guys that could do a little bit of everything, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles,
Chris Jericho,
Bryan Danielson.
When I mean
Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him now.
Yeah, when we say Chris Jericho, we talking about Chris Jericho
20 years
back
ago.
20 years ago. He's in WCW, ECW, back when he trained in the dungeon. That Chris Jericho. We ain't talking about Chris Jericho now, because Chris Jericho now is on the same level I'm on.
Jericho 94, 95 to 2010.
I was thinking like 93 Jericho. But 94? Okay. I'll give you that 94.
94, 95 up to about 2010. And we're certainly not talking Jericho in the last couple of years.
No. We not even talking about Jericho.
AEW Jericho, period.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about the Jericho in his last year in WWE. His last year in WWE, he was entertaining because he had the list and he put over Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. Other than that, I'm not even talking about that Jericho. that Jericho was okay, but I like the Jericho from the WCW
Oh, the Man of a Thousand
time.
Four Holds
It's
is still one of my favorite things of all time. Like
yeah,
any promo skit, anything in wrestling ever, that's still one of my
yeah.
favorites.
And his first two runs in the WWE.
Hmm. Oh, his first one was great when he first
Yeah,
debuted and cut up the
yeah,
Rock was great.
yeah. And his second run when he took time off, came back, that was a nice run too. And to me, that was it.
Oh, and that's a whole separate conversation. If you're talking guys on the microphone, Jericho to me is probably number one overall
On the microphone?
on the microphone.
Wow.
Jericho, Mick Foley's highly underrated. Flair was always good. I mean, that was more than even being an in-ring performer. Flair was great on the mic. Um, but again, that's a whole separate conversation of just being a wrestler if we're talking in-ring stuff.
Yeah, that'll be another off-topic conversation for the next show.
You could just make it an actual topic so it's not off topic, and then I could just do something else.
Oh, well, then that could be an actual topic. Okay, yeah, okay. But back to back to Wardlow. I about to say what's his name. I was saying, a little joke there.
He's not gone that long.
So what I read so far, and this is it from I want to get this right. Shout out to Andrew Ravens from not Walgreens, from
like
Wrestling
Walgreens.
News.
I was like, Walgreens? What's Walgreens?
Yeah, we know Walgreens popped up, and I'm like, nah, this guy ain't from, he ain't wearing no Walgreens. So what he wrote, and basically we'll be talking about he tore his patellar muscle. He might be out 6 to 9 months, and he talking about how he been out of action for over a year with a shoulder injury that has compounded by a car accident, but have been medically cleared to return for several months. So he talks about how his return was delayed, but he says something interesting here. Now, Wardlow could be out 6 to 9 months wrestling wise. That doesn't mean Wardlow still can't make appearances on AEW, part of the Don Callis family. He just don't have to get in the ring and get physical with nobody. He could just be the guy, the muscle, what they call him, the insurance policy.
Yeah, but the problem is when you're the muscle and the insurance policy type guy, mainly the muscle, if you're not throwing people around, they really don't need you. And if he's not capable, especially at torn pec, like you're not lifting anybody up, you're not tossing anybody around. So having him on TV, unless it's just like, hey, we're paying you, you need to show up, like having him on TV really isn't going to be a big benefit because he's not a talker. If he was a talker, then you've got some value, but unless you're going to do it all through Don Callis, I don't think it's going to make a lot of sense unless they're going to try and work a story into it.
Yeah, I mean, if they can work a story around this and do something with it, even though he's out 6 to 9 months, that'd be great. I think the way Andrew Ravens, I think the reason why he said that is because you already know in professional wrestling, if you out extended period of time, they will add time to your contract. So I kind of think that's a way of, hey, Wardlow gonna need rehab of 6 to 9 months. And I kind of think Tony Khan and AEW probably thinking like, hey, do we want to add more time to this guy contract? Because we're not getting no return from him because he's always hurt. That might be a better way of getting something out of him than just having him sitting at home collecting a paycheck. Like he did that for about a year, but he was medically cleared for several months. So you can say he's medically cleared 2 months before the year. So this might be another way of, hey, you know what? We don't want to add time to his contract. Let's get him out here. He won't do anything physical, but let's make his presence felt. Let's have him on camera. He can be he'll be coming out with Don Callis. He can talk some trash, do whatever he can. He just won't be physical with nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. They got to do something to build the momentum up for him because every time they bring him back, even when he wasn't hurt, they'd have a mini push for him, build him up, and then he'd just go ice cold. Like, just stop doing anything with him, take him off TV. So they need to kind of figure out if they're going to keep him around long term. They got to do something with him. Bringing him on TV probably would be a good thing, but I just don't really see how it's going to benefit the character unless
Mm-hmm.
they're going to come up with a real good story and have Don Callis doing the talking for him. Because
Yeah,
if anything, it would just make him look weak that he's out there week after week not doing anything, just standing around.
yeah, you're right. And don't, like you said, we don't know what's his status in AEW, where he's on the. Is he on? Is he very high? Is Tony very high with him, or is Tony low with Wardlow? We don't know. So we don't know how
I'd have to
Tony.
think he's got to be pretty good with him because they would have had the opportunity to cut him at any time and they've kept him all this time. Like, even when you said he was medically cleared, like they sat on him for a couple months figuring out where to fit a story in to bring him in at instead of just
Well,
throwing him right back on TV.
I mean, he could be in good with Tony, but that's not really saying anything because how many talent he got sitting out just collecting checks, and they're
Well,
not
that's the
going to be
biggest problem
talking.
with AEW. They have too many guys and not nearly enough time to keep them all on TV. There's a lot of people. Like, is Danhausen still under contract with AEW? Because even before his contract was up, he wasn't on TV for like a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, Britt Baker is not even on television, and she was the face of the women's division for the longest period of time. She made some comments, and now she's out of favor with Tony, and he's not using her at all. I mean, he had the Lucha Bros sitting on the sideline because he knew
Yeah.
they were leaving going to going to WWE.
Yeah, he made
It's
Ray Phoenix sit there for months.
yeah. So we don't know where his status is with Tony Khan. It could be good, could be bad, could be indifferent, could be in between. But we do know is, and as the businessman yourself, you're gonna want your return.
Huh?
You're not gonna pay anybody a lot of money to sit on the sideline, especially someone as talented, physical gifted as Wardlow.
Well, you also don't know the kind of contract he had because remember, it's only been a couple of years since they started doing these. I don't want to call them guaranteed contracts, but contracts that they're going to get paid a weekly amount because
Yes,
it wasn't that long ago that guys were coming back when they were still hurt because if you weren't on TV or you weren't on the road wrestling,
you weren't getting
you
paid.
weren't getting paid. So guys were coming back hurt all the time
Yeah.
because they got to make money. Now,
Mhm.
WWE for the most part has done away with that where they do have guaranteed contracts, but you're also seeing guys don't make that much.
Oh yeah, they
Unless
got away
you're
with.
yeah, unless you're Cody or Roman or like Cena or somebody where you're the top tier, the top tier, the top tier. These guys are like I think the minimum's 250, which is a lot of money, but when you're an entertainer, that's not a lot of money.
Right.
The hardest thing in the world to do is entertain people on a
Yeah.
consistent basis. So 250 grand, especially when they still have to pay for their own flights, their own hotels, like they still have to pay for all that stuff.
Yeah.
WWE doesn't pay for it.
Yeah. And by the way, I think all the professional wrestlers in AEW, AEW need to give a big shout out to Tony Khan because if it wasn't for Tony Khan, none of these wrestlers would have guaranteed contracts. That's why the WWE probably pissed off at Tony Khan because they had to pay market value and guarantee the contracts of their wrestlers. And we all know, even back when Vince McMahon was running things, that's not good business, how they done business. But
You
now
all
that's
should
how
have
business is done.
reverence for Jesse Ventura for trying to start a wrestling union
Oh,
that
yeah.
Hulk Hogan
Rat them
destroyed.
out.
Yeah, like could have had a union. If there was ever an industry that needed a union for exploited workers, it's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Like you make 250 grand, but you're one. Let's say you wrestle 50 times in 50 different locations. Let's say you hit one state per show. You got
Mm-hmm.
to pay for all those hotels, all those flights. That's why a lot of these guys started buying RVs. Like you'll see on Raw all the time, they always show Cody coming out of his RV. He's not the only one because it's cheaper for them to get an RV and less stress than buying a plane ticket here, jumping in a hotel here, all that. They still have to pay for all that stuff out of pocket.
Yeah. And getting a rental car here and there. And
Yeah.
you can just hire to get an RV, hire a driver, and get you from the next city to the next city to the next state to the next state. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
You spend, who else have? I think it's Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. They have one. So yeah, I know I have one.
I mean, there's some nice ones. I've seen some crazy ones where I'm like, This ain't bad.
Hey. I know, I know where you going. I know you going with that. I know where
What?
you going with that. Wait till your kid gets big, like 7, 8. Then you think about going on a camping trip and get an RV, get a camper. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Kid's not here yet.
Yeah.
Dad.
Fine.
So, best wishes to Warlow. We'll be watching, see what happens to you. And hey, I'm a fan. I want to see you out. I want to see you healthy. And I can't wait for that program between Warlow and Swerve Strickland. I know it's gonna be great because hey, Swerve is just that dude. And Warlow, as strong as he is, he has gotten better on the mic and he has gotten better in his matches. So when both guys are healthy, I hope Tony Khan, if you're listening, not only Jamie on free tickets, but we want you to pick up that storyline. Pick up where you left off with that. That could be a banger. That has some promise to it. Also, a lot of things happen on Monday.
Hmm.
A lot of things happen on Monday. What happened on Monday? What happened this past Monday? This past Monday, I read up on the Kawhi Leonard situation.
He's gonna get
I
banned
see.
from basketball.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I see a
Happened to Pete
lot of.
Rose for far less than what Kawhi Leonard did. Far less than what Kawhi Leonard did.
Hey, Kawhi Leonard officially is one of my favorite players. Okay,
You want to
we
talk about
seen football fans
perpetually
around,
injured?
but he got 28 million for doing nothing.
I know.
That's why he's
He's
my
like the
favorite.
most overpaid basketball player in the history of basketball. If you
He
look at
is.
like his dollar per minute value, it's probably at an all-time high. Dude never plays and is making buku money.
Yeah, that's why he's one of my favorite players of all time.
Paul George
So
is right there with him. Don't even have to play and get paid.
Kawhi, anyhow, we see Clipper fans complaining about the investigation into Kawhi Leonard and their team. We see Lions fans jumping off the boat, the ship, whatever you want to call it, about they lost to the Packers. And we seeing Wolverine fans punching holes in the wall because their offensive coordinator refused to take the training wheels off their quarterback. And we seen the return of AJ Lee as she spoke on the mic. And we seen AJ Styles. I guess that was a shoot during a commercial break. We seen a lot going on Raw. Raw was Raw was good. Raw was decent. I
It was
get
decent.
Raw was decent. I'm not gonna say Raw was good or great. It was decent. There were some times during Raw where your boy could have went to sleep on because some of those matches were, not very entertaining. It was about to put me to sleep.
I was falling
Raw,
asleep during AJ Lee, but
I didn't fall asleep on AJ Lee.
I didn't fall asleep, but I could have.
Could have.
WWE fans have also proven they will chant for anything during AJ Lee. Therapy.
So we're gonna start with that. AJ Lee got on the mic for the first time in 10 years. And you can tell she was a little nervous because it had been so long. She told us where she's been, how she's doing, why she's here, and kind of gave us what's her end game. She told us, she's been battling mental illness. She's been in therapy.
I think that was more of a character work than anything.
Character work, but that is true though. If you follow AJ Lee like I do outside of wrestling,
I never
she
found her
has.
interesting enough to do that.
When I'm a CM Punk fan, so when you follow CM Punk, AJ Lee, but he has mentioned that a few times that AJ was down and he brought her some flowers one time, or he went and surprised AJ with Caitlyn, her best friend that she haven't seen in a while. This is a long time ago, but she does has a book, bestseller, New York bestseller. She talks about her journey. She talks about her neck injury. She talks about dealing was the mental illness and how she's still trying to overcome those. And mad props to her. So if everybody wonder why was she cheer for therapy, as Jamie said, WWE fans would chant for anything. That's why. Uh, and he's going to tell you more details of that. And she went through everything. Then she came to Becky Lynch, and she said, she was hoping her and Becky, she thought they can be friends until she put her hands on her husband, and she gave us why she was here. That was why she was here, and she had the Intercontinental title belt. Becky came out. Becky won her title back. She used that title as a vehicle to get what she wanted. And what she wanted was a mixed tag team match, her and Punk versus Seth and Becky, and she got it at WrestlePalooza, in which we all knew that was going to happen in the first place. But we had to let everything play out. It's good to see AJ Lee during those 18 minutes. Some people might say it was long winded. Some people might say the segment was boring, but we got everything we needed. Why she addressed everything that was needed to be addressed. How many times where we seen Brock Lesnar come back and he don't even address why he's there? We still waiting the reason why he attacked John Cena. We still waiting before he got the boot from the WWE for the legal situation. We still wonder why he had beat up and attacked Cody Rhodes. We ain't getting an explanation for that. At least AJ gave us something. She gave us everything we needed to know, and now it's time to move on to the WrestlePalooza for the mixed tag team match. But before we get there, I got a question for Jamie. I know Jamie's going to give me the blunt answer. And the question is, why do WWE fans chant for anything that's everything that's anything that's weird?
There's no polite way to answer that question.
I mean,
mindless drone comes to mind, but it's sheep mentality is the honest answer. It's the same reason why do riots happen. You see one person do one thing and then everybody thinks it's okay. And WWE, we all know they're prone to pipe in crowd noise. All they have to do is pipe in something that from a couple voices, everybody's going to start chanting. It doesn't matter what it is.
I was thinking it's a cheap pop.
Oh, 100%. It's a cheap pop. I mean, I'll give her credit that it's her first time talking in 10 years, out like that in a crowd like that, environment like that. Like, it's fine. Was it super boring? Absolutely. Did her coming out have anything to really advance the storyline? No. The storyline didn't advance until CM Punk came out. Everything that she said, that was your standard fare of, I'm here because you slapped my husband. Well, hopefully you'd be there because she slapped your husband. So, like, did that really do anything to advance the story? No. Stealing the belt to force the mixed tag team match? Okay, that's fine. That we all knew that was coming. That was a good way to make it happen. But, like, the whole long-winded blah, 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 who cares? I don't. Like, it would have been better to have them get into it. Have her come out and start talking, have Becky, the music hit, and she runs out of the crowd or something like that and attacks her. Get something. They're just going to do blah, blah, blah for another 10 days until WrestlePalooza.
The one thing I also noticed is that when she came out, and maybe it just me because when she came out on Friday, Chicago went nuts. It went crazy. When she came out in Milwaukee, you didn't get that same feeling. You got a lot of good energy, but you didn't get that same feeling that she got in Chicago. Now, I know she's not from Chicago. She's from New Jersey, but we know she lived in Chicago with her husband, CM Punk. But still, though, I mean, for someone who has that star status as AJ Lee, even though it was 10 years ago, and a lot of us, like she said, I hope I quote her right, If you want to know why your millennial parents are going crazy, I'm AJ Lee. I've been gone for 10 years. And I
I
think
actually got up and got a drink when she came out and had to come back and rewind it, and I was
uh,
still unimpressed.
I think I think that's what she said. I think
She
that's
said,
what
"I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler," or
wrestler.
something to that
Yes,
degree,
yes,
and I'm
yes,
like,
yes, yes. And
"Cool."
she is true, but that is facts, by the way. That is facts. And I kind of felt that she came back to a crowd where the new generation is really gonna have to get to know who she is and know her. We know who she is, and minus you, because you're a hater. We're fans, but it's okay
Not a
though. But
hater.
you're not a
I'm
hater.
probably the biggest women's wrestling fan in the world.
I know.
And is she good in the ring? Yes. Have I ever found her an inspiring character to want to go out of my way to watch? No. Even when she came back, I was like, here's somebody else that's losing their spot. That's all I thought was, here's somebody else. Roxanne Perez's TV time is going to get cut down now.
Hey, 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 hey,
That's just the way it
hey, hey,
goes.
hey.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I had to throw that in because I know I was gonna get an off topic response out of you.
That's not off topic.
I know. That's why I had to
The topic
kind
is
of
AJ Lee. And I'm
close.
saying my initial reaction to her coming back, which we all knew she was, it's not like it was a surprise, because again, WWE can't do surprises anymore. They don't know how, is other people are just going to lose TV time. It's the same thing as we talked about a couple weeks ago. Bringing back all these old people, all you're doing is hurting the development of your young people. Because again, is she working with young talent? No, she's working with Becky Lynch. Yeah, of course, you got to do something because she was gone too long. So, yeah, a lot of people don't know who she is, and a lot of people don't care. People that do know who she is, like me, I don't care. I'd rather see Roxanne Perez. I'd rather see Sol Ruca. I'd rather see Lash Legend. AJ Lee had her time. She chose to walk away. She could have still been here. She chose to walk away. So
Well, I'm
that's
happy
the
she.
whole, well, I'm AJ Lee. I don't care.
You had said something about I picked when you was talking about the WWE and their surprises. You know what else WWE don't do good anymore? They don't. You remember back in the day where you never knew who's going to win the match.
Uh-huh.
Now we know who's going to win this mixed tag team match,
100%.
and we know where this leading to.
You would kill all the momentum if AJ Lee loses the match. Like,
Thank you. And not only that, we know that this is setting up a story. Oh, wait a minute. It already been set up for Becky and AJ for the women's IC title down the line.
and people, please, my own PSA for you. Do not bet on pro wrestling. Don't do the FanDuel thing. Don't do DraftKings. Like, you never bet on something that's scripted.
Yeah. Especially
Please
you know
just
who's
don't
gonna
do it.
win. Especially you know how they setting this up. There's no element of surprise of, huh, Becky gonna take this pin. Huh. Becky gonna end up feuding with AJ Lee probably for the next few months or so. She gonna feud with AJ Lee until AJ Lee takes the title from her.
Yeah.
It's right there. They're telling us a story without even telling us a story.
But now you've got AJ Lee back and Nikki Bella. That's two spots, two different matches. It's not like they're in there going against each other. They're taking up two different match times on a show that runs almost 3 hours that only has 4 to 5 matches per show to begin with.
Yes.
Now, do you see my problem?
Yeah. I see it. Prime example.
And Nikki Bella, you have her coming back to lose. Like, what sense? She wasn't good to begin with, but like, what are we doing?
Hey, she's the modern day Brooklyn Brawler. Come on, man.
I mean, she dresses like it,
but hey. But hey, but no, but seriously though, even this storyline, you mentioned Roxanne Perez, right? Roxanne Perez is in the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan didn't want Roxanne Perez in the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan is out till January due to her injury. Roxanne Perez If you seen it on this past Monday on Raw, she went and comforted Dominic. Who is Dominic Mysterio girlfriend on Monday Night Raw?
Uh-huh.
Liv Morgan. And what has the WWE has done since Roxanne Perez has since Finn Balor been trying to get Roxanne Perez in the Judgment Day? Two things: one, get close to Dominic Mysterio, and two, replace Liv Morgan. If you don't believe me, look at her relationship with Raquel Rodriguez. It's better than it was started. It's better than it started. And remember, Roxanne is Team Liv all day, every day. Team Liv. That's her girl. That's her bestie. You don't see Roxanne talking about Liv Morgan anymore. You don't hear you don't hear Raquel talk about Liv Morgan anymore. You barely hear the Judgment Day mention about Liv Morgan. You don't hear Dominic Mysterio mention Liv Morgan. But you do see Roxanne Perez just trying to get on Dominic Mysterio's good side, being there for him.
And see, that's just an easy cop out. Again, lack of storytelling. You don't need to use Dominic Mysterio as the catapult. Use Finn Balor. Finn, another guy that needs a push. They need to do something with him. Another megastar worldwide, like AJ Styles, that you're doing nothing with. Have Roxanne get close to Finn, so that way when Liv comes back, Finn and Dominic, or Liv and Dominic kicked out of the Judgment Day, choose to leave the Judgment Day, whatever. You've got your mixed tag team match right there. Or I personally wouldn't even do a mixed tag team match. I'd do two separate matches: Finn versus Dominic, Liv versus Roxanne.
I thought they were heading that way with Finn and Dom for the IC title, but it seems like plans have changed.
Finn is above the IC title. Like, he's still got years left. IC title runs are for up and comers, guys that need to get back on track, or guys that are on their way out. Finn's not any of those.
Well, no, they just got him ran the tag team championship because he is working with JD McDonough.
And JD is going to be a perennial tag team wrestler his whole career in WWE.
Yeah, and one thing about Finn Balor and the Judgment Day is that I kind of do believe they're going to break up.
Oh, of course,
we just don't know. We just don't know how. We don't know how Roxanne and Finn going to break this up. Because look, if you're not paying attention, you know they're in cahoots with each other.
Uh-huh.
We just don't know how they're going to do this. We don't know. Are they going to do this before Liv come back, or are they going to do this when Liv come back? We don't know.
Well, the problem is they take up so much screen time for not doing anything. But honestly, Dominic should just peace out now and make a big to-do when Liv comes back. But they're not going to do that because they need to take the easiest road possible for storytelling.
Yeah.
So they're going to let this drag on and drag on. But the Judgment Day as a whole unit, they don't come out together. They don't do anything together. They build up this slow rising tension. You know, Triple H credits himself with long storytelling. Yeah, it's like reading a 2,000-page book where it's all filler material. You just need to read the first 10 pages and the last 40 pages, and you've got the whole story. That's Triple H's storytelling. It's just dragging this on for no reason. Because I'm willing to bet if Liv Morgan wasn't hurt, this would still be going on, just being dragged out the entire time for no reason.
I think, yes. If Liv was not injured, yeah, it would have been dragged out. But I do believe there'll be a sense of urgency to speed this up just a little bit. Because
taking the Roxanne Dominic route, that's a cop out. You could tell a much better story with Roxanne getting closer to Finn and pushing Finn to really grab control, and that Dominic's the one that people are looking to Dominic to lead and pushing it that way than just the whole, oh, I'm trying to take your man kind of thing. Because everybody knows they're not even dating in real life to begin with. So
right.
Well,
right. And I want to run something by you right quick. And it involves Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and AJ Styles. So did you see AJ Styles cut a shoot or a work promo during the commercial break? Did you catch that highlight?
No, you had to go and find it online. But yeah, I read the whole thing.
Did you read it?
Uh-huh. I read the
And
responses from Meechin and Doc Gallows.
what they say?
Meechin just made a comment that she's always going to have his back no matter what. And Luke Gallows said that he was going to start charging for pipe bomb promo mentions or something like that, just messing around. But yeah.
So during that promo, when he said, "I have nobody here to watch my back. Somebody here doesn't want me here," and you can tell that they're leading to a story. We don't know with who. But when I heard it, when he said, "I have nobody to watch my back, I have no friends here," you know who I thought about instantly?
Finn Balor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And JD McDonough.
Bullet Club members. So
can we see a reunion of some sort? Not Bully Club, because we know the WWE ain't gonna do the Bullet Club thing, but
they could do an offshoot of a Bullet Club and just not call
yeah,
it Bullet Club. But the way they name things in WWE is atrocious. You'd probably get some like Mellow Don't Miz Bullet Club name or something, you know.
or the OC,
Yeah, the OC, like you have
or the
paid
club.
writers. You have paid writers that come up with this stuff. We're not watching the CW. Didn't they have a show called the OC or something?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, see?
Based in Orange County.
Garbage. Hot garbage.
Well,
But no, I would like to see, even if they were to do like one last run, AJ and Finn Balor together as a tag team or in some sort of faction together would be great. It's not going to happen because AJ doesn't have enough time on his contract left unless he renews it, but I really don't see that happening.
I don't know, man. It's WWE. Anything's possible.
What has he done? What would make him? They're not going to throw him a huge sack of money. So it's not going to be for the money. He's wrestled everybody there that he's going to wrestle. So it's not like, oh, I have this dream opponent, unless he wants to get in the ring with Rey Fenix. But
or Penta.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, you've got better options overall. I would love to see him wrestle Rey Fenix or Penta or both of them.
Or
But he's got more options going to AEW. TNA, who are you going to wrestle over there that matters? Moose?
Mike Santana? I'm just throwing the name out there, man.
In the day, like
I'm just throwing the name out there. The look on your face, like, come on, dog, come on. Bro.
I mean, Santana was cool 15 years ago. Like the whole LAX thing was great. Like him as a solo wrestler, like it's all right.
He eats.
It's like Mark Briscoe. Like there's something missing there, and that's not Mark Briscoe's fault. His brother died, but like Mark was never meant to be a solo wrestler. Santana's not meant to be a solo wrestler.
I disagree.
He needs his boy back.
I disagree with Mike Santana. Mark Briscoe, I truly agree with you. You know, the Briscoe brothers, yeah. I mean, I hate the fact that his brother passed away. Those guys were a great tag team. But Mike Santana, I always kind of feel if he branch out on his own, I always feel he would be fine. But I didn't think that.
I even forgot his tag team partner's name. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Ortiz,
yeah. I kept wanting to say Hernandez, and I was like, I know.
No.
Ortiz. Yeah, it was Ortiz.
Hey,
Santana
I like the Hernandez, by the way. Mex. I like the Hernandez.
LAX was great.
I would love to see LAX in WWE a long time ago. Now,
well, I had read an interview with Santana a couple months ago where they were about to come to WWE, but Ortiz just didn't want to do it. Like he was tired of wrestling and just I'm out.
and that's why Mike Santana don't mess with the guy anymore.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt that with Mike Santana is that because of who he is, that passion and that drive that he had, I always felt that he would be a good singles wrestler. Did I ever thought that he would be championship material? That was a question to be seen because I had to see it. But now we're going to see it because he's going to be Trick Williams.
Oh, 100% he is.
Again, TNA, WWE, we've seen the story. The story's already been written.
Well, Carmelo was just out there with Trick Williams too.
Hmm?
Did you see Carmelo was out there with Trick Williams at NXT?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Well, you know, WWE got to tease us for now. When Trick get called into the main roster, we know who he's going to be teaming up with. It's no secret. So we just waiting for that to happen. Again, TNA, WWE, they're not hiding what's going to happen. Okay, Trick Williams has been a TNA champion for a nice long period of time right now, and
Way
and
longer than he
wrestling
should have.
terms, in the wrestling business, he's been champion for quite a long time. It's time for TNA to get their title back, and who's their guy they're gonna put their money on and make sure he get to the finish line and bring their title back home? Mike Santana.
I mean, do they have anybody else?
Well, I was kind of thinking it might would have been Joe Henry.
Didn't Henry sign a WWE contract?
I thought he was still with TNA.
I thought he signed a WWE contract.
Oh, I got to look that up. I mean, well, you look that up while I talk.
There you go.
Hey, look, I mean, Mike Santana, Trick Williams, that's gonna be a hell of a match. But again, the element of surprise in pro wrestling is just gone. Because if this was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would never know who was gonna win the match. But nowadays, in today's wrestling, they're telling you who's gonna win. They're telling you how they're gonna win. And they're also sometimes going to tell you that this wrestler is not going to lose no time soon. For example, Jamie's favorite wrestler, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is finna embark in a feud with Drew McIntyre. How many of us think that Drew McIntyre is going to beat Cody Rhodes? Nobody. Nobody believes it. I mean, I should say nobody doesn't see it. Even though Drew McIntyre should be the champion and Cody Rhodes should be chasing Drew McIntyre to get his championship back. But that's not how professional wrestling works. Because common sense in professional wrestling would means that we have to make everything make sense. And am I about right about that?
Yeah. No, it doesn't look like he's signed yet, but basically it's all but assumed that he's doing enough between the both promotions that he's going to sign, and he said he's going to sign as soon as it's available, but he hasn't officially signed.
I mean, the first time I see Joe Henry match, honestly, the first time I seen one of his matches, when he just took an RKO from Randy Orton within like 2 minutes into the match.
Joe Henry reminds me of Cody Rhodes.
What, the way he carries himself, the way his look, or the hype he gets?
Yeah, like this unnerving love of him. I don't get it. Like, there's something about Cody Rhodes and Joe Henry that I can't put my name on it, what I don't like, but I can't also figure out why people like them. Because he looks like when you're creating a wrestler in a video game, like that's Joe Henry. Like, there's nothing unique about him at all. Like his little spin around with the smile thing, and I believe in Joe. Like, what?
I think I know. And hear me out, especially with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' rise to the top is a storybook fairy tale that we had, one of the best we ever seen. Think about it. When he came into the WWE, he was Cody Rhodes. He was teamed with Ted DiBiase Jr. and they learned under Randy Orton. Then he went from learning under Randy Orton until being under his brother wings when his brother was playing Goldust, and he convinced him to play Stardust. And to me, Cody Rhodes knew he was way better than that. Cody wants to be a champion. Cody wants to make a name for himself. Cody kind of see himself as his father American dream. He's an everyday man, and he want to blaze his own trail. So when Cody then signed back with the WWE and he went to the independent scene and blew the roofs off the independent scene, started AEW, he started making a name for himself. Before AEW, he started to realize that he is a superstar in this wrestling business. I'm not saying you feel that way. I'm saying that he felt that way.
Everybody makes a lot off of that all in pay per view that they did that started off AEW to lead to AEW. But people forget all the other talent that was booked on that card that sold a lot of those tickets. Because I know me as a fan, if I was to buy tickets to that, it was not to see Cody Rhodes. It would have been to see Nick Aldis. And you know who got left out of that whole entire deal? Nick Aldis.
Yes. And that's why we see Nick Aldis as the GM on SmackDown.
So again, like I know Cody does the whole I bet on myself thing. And yeah, to a certain degree, you busted your ass, you did all that stuff,
Yeah.
but you get a lot of credit that should also be passed around to a lot of other people, like the Young Bucks. I'm also not a Young Bucks fan, but the Young Bucks sold a lot of those tickets.
Well, yeah, I mean, I believe all those guys took a leap of faith and bet on themselves that they can entertain the people in this state, because you got to think about it. Young Bucks, Primary, and Kenny Omega, they wrestle in New Japan.
Uh-huh.
Unless, like I said, unless you're a diehard wrestling fan here, a lot of people in the States didn't hear of the Young Bucks. Unless you're a diehard. So for them,
there's a lot of diehard wrestling fans.
Right.
How New Japan hasn't gotten a TV contract with anybody, because I know people that I talk to now that watch New Japan more than they watch WWE. Like, I know people that go out of their way to watch New Japan stuff.
But will you watch New Japan right now?
I would if it was readily available and I didn't have to go out of my way and spend time searching for it on YouTube and everything else. I would.
But who are you going to watch in New Japan?
That's where you develop the following of who you like and everything else. I couldn't even tell you who's over there right now.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He's so readily available, though. He's on like every independent scene. You can go see him almost any time. It's like watching John Gresham. You can see John Gresham everywhere. And those are two people on the independent scene I would go watch willingly anytime.
Yeah. But when I'm getting at, I'm going to bring in Joe Henry in this pretty soon. When I'm getting at is that, you know, the Bucks, Kenny Omega, a lot of those guys, Adam Page, they were not household names in the States. But Cody Rhodes was kind of sort of like a big deal in the States. Not as big as we know him as, because
he also got
for a lot of us, right?
But for he was too,
right? But for a lot of us, last time we seen Cody Rhodes for here independent scene, he was Stardust. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he bet on himself. All those guys bet on themselves, and they hit the jackpot. And they was able to team up with Tony Khan, AEW, and what Joe Henry, when I bring him into it, is that the reason why people thinking him as Cody Rhodes, because he's your everyday guy. He works hard. He does everything the right way.
That's same.
He doesn't cheat it. He doesn't cheat the fans. He doesn't cheat himself. And a lot of fans can get behind that. That's like Cody Rhodes. He's your American-made man. A lot of fans are behind that. And when they see Cody Rhodes, see Joe Henry, they can stand with that. They can get behind that. They can do something with that. They can, I don't know, I guess you can say a lot of us see some similarities between them and our lives.
I feel like you're reaching, but I'll let you have that one.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I thank you. That last part I was reaching. I was going
to say, you have to remember who Sonny was too. So I'm sure that did a lot to help him out.
Okay. Yeah.
Joe Hendry, not so much, but the matches I've watched of Joe Hendry, they're just not inspiring to me. Like, there's nothing about them where I'm like, this guy's got star power. Like, I've seen enough people come out and like play the guitar to their own theme music. I don't need Elias or Rick Boogs coming back out. Like, doesn't do anything for me. Elias, if you're going to bring somebody out with a guitar, bring Elias back. At least that dude could wrestle.
He's in TNA.
I know, but I'm saying bring him back. Bring him back to WWE.
Nah, I like Elias when he first started in WWE, and I actually thought they was going to do something with him. Hindsight 2020, I forgot. Vince McMahon don't like people with instruments.
Which is funny because that's how he comes up with their characters. I mean, if you ever saw that old interview with Draws, the whole puking thing that he made him do, it's because Vince is like, "What can you do?" He's like, "Well, I can puke on demand. Let me see it." Okay, so he does it. Well, that's your whole thing. You're gonna come out and you're gonna puke before every match. That's how Vince comes up with characters. He just, what's your secret talent? Okay, that's what your entire character's based on. So,
yeah. And as we continue, we had our little off-topic conversation, even though it was wrestling related. We think of that segment of no. Let me rewind that. Do you find it kind of odd that your favorite wrestler, Io Sky, is going to wrestle your other favorite wrestler, Stephanie Valkyrie, and she has been on Raw for 3 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Like, saying though, like, not even from a story perspective, like, just how are you going to go out there on TV and say, "Oh yeah, we're canceling the signing"? Like, if she's got an issue where she can't be on TV or something, just don't even bring it up.
But wait a minute, she was on NXT on Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, if there's an issue, like, this isn't storytelling. Obviously, they're trying to wrap a story into it because EO asks, is the match still on? Oh yeah, we're going to make sure the match is still on. They're going to throw a third person in there or 2 other people. They're going to find a way to throw Rhea Ripley in there or something. But it's bad. So the whole thing is bad. Like, the match should just be those two because they've tried to do it twice. They always have somebody come out and interrupt. Those two can bring the house down. They've already showed it with the 2 matches that they've had going into it. You give them a full 15 minutes to put on a match, they're going to kill it.
Stephanie hasn't been on Raw or on TV since early August.
That's what I'm saying, is like, what are you doing?
And on top of that, she's been the number 1 contender for that long. So to me, it's kind of like, you're right. If anybody predicted Io Sky is going to win, yeah, it's in the bag.
If I had to guess, it's because that AJ Lee segment ran long and they just needed to cut something. But if they wouldn't have acknowledged it when it was promoted, there was going to be a contract signing. That was just their storyline way of passing it off. Because if I had to guess, that's probably what it was, is that segment ran too long.
But you didn't need to. Oh, hold on. But see, my whole point is you have weeks.
Oh, I know.
Weeks to get this right.
I think contract signings are stupid to show them on TV. Like, they're not real.
I'm not even talking about contract signing. You waited. So, and I understand Naomi got pregnant. Cool. She relinquished the title. Cool. That following week, if you know you're going with Io Sky, if it was between Io Sky or Rhea Ripley, who else is on there? Asuka or whomever. If you're Triple H and the writer team and you know you're going with Io Sky, you should announce that probably the same day when Naomi dropped the title or that following week. Hey, we're going with Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyrie. Let's build this matchup. Stephanie ain't been on in a month. How can you tell the fans that Stephanie Valkyrie is going to be your next WWE Women's Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, and she hasn't been on in a month?
I don't think they're going to let Stephanie.
But they're not going to let her win. But I'm just saying, if they go that route. But then again, how can you say that? How can you tell me as a consumer, as a fan, that we're gonna put the bet on Io? I ain't seen no interest in both ladies. I don't feel that's confident have Io Sky winning the title.
Io's the best wrestler that they have in the women's division.
But it seems like okay, yeah, true. She is one of their best wrestlers they have. But where's the story, the build up between her and Stephanie? I mean,
you're talking to the story guy. How do you think I feel? This is Triple H booking. This is what you can expect. It's the same thing of when the Bloodline was hot. The Bloodline, SmackDown was considered the better show for 3.5, 4 years because it had the Bloodline. Because that's the only story that they wrote for. Everything else was just, Hey, what are we doing this week? Get a couple of opinions. Go with that one. They don't put any effort into anything. They focus on one story, and that's it. Right now, all the focus is on the Seth Rollins thing. Everything else just hopefully falls into place. That's it.
Yes. This is about the dumbest. This is about the dumbest thing I heard from coming out of WWE. Julia is one of their best wrestlers in the company. I'm talking about men and women. One of their best. She is a United States heavyweight champion. I haven't
Well,
seen her wrestle in months. The
she
last
just
time I
wrestled
seen
on
her wrestle
SmackDown.
was Zelina Vega.
She did just wrestle this past Friday. It was a quick match, but she did wrestle.
But where's the story? Why you have her off? Why did you have her off the program for that long? It just don't make sense. I see more of her representation more than I seen her. I just seen her manage to get beat in 3 seconds. The only time I
Trust
see
me.
Julia is on backstage segment, not in the ring. The only time I see Stephanie Becker when she's on camera.
And for some reason, they thought that Julia needed a manager because they had nothing at all planned for somebody that they promoted to the main roster a year ago,
She don't need
a
a
year and a half
manager.
ago.
She does well for
I know she
herself.
doesn't. You're telling me I know this stuff. But I was saying they promoted somebody to the main roster a year and a half ago. I remember watching Raw when Kiana James got promoted. Never saw her on Raw. I didn't even know she was on SmackDown until a couple weeks ago. And all of a sudden I'm like, why does Julia have a manager in Kiana James? But they're like, hey, we got nothing for you. Why don't we just throw you two together?
You're just the only thing they doing, as you say, lazy booking. You only reason why you got Kiana James with Julia, because eventually Julia is gonna turn on Kiana James, and that's your story, and Julia gonna squash her
And does
ass.
anybody care about Kiana James? No.
No. And that's as I know, and we're not saying that'd be disrespectful, but the fans don't care. The fans
No,
don't
it
care.
comes with a level of popularity. Stephanie Vaquer and Julia came in is two of the highest free agents that you could get on the men's or women's side of wrestling. They should have come in at a much hotter rate than what they came in at. You, as an example, Jade Cargill went straight to the main roster. If anybody ever needed to spend a decade in NXT, it was Jade Cargill.
You said it.
A
Wow,
decade.
a decade.
I mean, if Roxanne Perez was down there that long, then Jade Cargill needed to be at least twice as long. So anyway, two people that didn't need to go to NXT that were put into NXT, Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, they should have been able to come in and go right after both women's titles right off the rip. Now, I'm not talking the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title. I'm talking about the women's heavyweight titles. That's how good they are.
They
They
are
weren't going to
good.
do it, but that's how good and how much of a following they already have. And you can justify it because they're going to sell merch. The crowd is going to get behind them. You could have Stephanie Vaquer and Julia playing both heels, and the fans are still going to go crazy for them.
That's when I.
I mean, Julia is a heel. Stephanie, they don't really seem to know how
They don't know how to
to
use her
progress
yet.
with her. Yeah, they don't know how to progress with her at all. But she's a star. It's the John Cena hate love thing, or even the Stone Cold anti-hero thing. She doesn't have to be defined because she's that popular.
Right.
She's gonna get cheered for no matter what.
She was the double champion in the women's division in NXT, hold their two major women's championships.
Uh-huh.
She gets caught up to Raw, and Julia gets caught up to SmackDown, and Julia was the women's champion in NXT. And you telling me the two women who's probably the top wrestlers in your women's division right now, you don't know how to use them? But yeah, I got to sit here and watch you put Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss as a tag team until Alexa Bliss turns Charlotte Flair, or either turns her or turn on her. You telling me that I got to sit here and watch Betty go through a character issue? I'm sitting here watching Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, and you get Lyra Valkyria this big old push, but yet though you don't know how to use Stephanie Valkyria or Julia.
Do you see why I have an issue with AJ Lee coming back or Nikki Bella coming back?
I don't have an issue with neither coming back. My issue with them coming back would be is, are they there to add on to the women's division and enhance the talent, or are they back there for their own personal gain?
Well, they're
I
always
don't
going to
I
say
don't
they're
think
there for the
AJ
right
Lee is back there
reasons.
for her own personal gain. I truly believe that both ladies are there to work with the talent and enhance the talent, but also get theirs as well. I
Nikki
mean,
Bella's there to get her career back on track after, she beat up her ex-husband. Let's just call it what it is.
so you call her abuser.
Look at the report was filed on her. She's there to get her career back on track so she doesn't have to go do Dancing with the Stars. That's what she's there for.
Or not even the other Total Divas.
She's 40 something. She ain't getting Total Divas now.
Or are you sure she ain't there for John Cena? Oh wait, no.
She's had that thrown in her face enough, and as you can see, they don't seem to be around each other at all. So
yeah, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. But yeah, David, that's why one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown. But hey, John Cena's on Raw started this Monday.
But
Maybe
again,
we might see a segment.
you've had Nikki Bella already get multiple screen time, multiple times on screen with Becky Lynch. Is that helping young talent? No. You then had her in a match with Asuka. Is that helping young talent? No. Like, you're just wasting time for somebody else. Again, Stephanie Vaquer, bring Julia over. The brands don't matter. You conveniently just throw guys back and forth whenever you need to, when it suits you. So the whole brand thing, hey, Sami Zayn's on SmackDown now because we need him to win the U.S. title. Like, so that's my whole issue with bringing, even when you bring somebody like bringing Brock back for like John Cena makes sense. I'm not the biggest fan of bringing the Rock back when it's like, oh, hey, if it's a managerial thing and he's enhancing a story, cool. I don't need to see the Rock in the ring. Does anybody want to see the Rock versus Roman Reigns? No. And the fans let you know that. But bringing all these old guys back like this, once in a while, it's good. But like all the times where people are like, oh, I hope we see Stone Cold. Why? The guy can barely move. He tells you that. Dude can barely walk, and you want to see him wrestle a match? No.
Shout out to Kevin Owens, by the way, for carrying that match.
Well, Kevin Owens is great, and if he can't wrestle again, that's a big loss to WWE.
Oh, well, 100%,
big loss,
100%. But back what I was saying, I don't think AJ Lee is here for selfish reasons. I do believe she's gonna help enhance the winning division because we already heard that Roxanne Perez want to work with her, and Roxanne Perez is one of her biggest fans. And Roxanne Perez and AJ Lee will be a good match. And I hope they do that match at some point.
Well, they're going to because AJ Lee's one of the ones that trained her. Yeah. So it's just going to turn into a Seth Rollins thing all over again with her.
Did she train Cora Jade as well?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I got to look that up.
But yeah, that's just going to be a built-in storyline of the whole Seth Rollins CM Punk thing. It's just going to be Roxanne Perez and AJ Lee because AJ is the one that trained Roxanne partially.
So, they Booker T.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Partially, it was Booker T and AJ Lee, but that's my issue with bringing back a lot of these old guys. It's not that they're old. I don't care about that. It's that the guys that you need to bank on. Biggest knock that I could ever give Vince McMahon is that he never developed young talent. Never did.
No.
You hit
his go-tos.
He got one class where he was able to get a bunch of OVW guys that hit at one time. Orton, Batista, Cena, and
Brock.
Yeah. How did I forget Brock on that? But you got 4 guys out of that one group that carried your company basically for 20 years in different capacities.
Yeah.
And without that, what other young talent did he ever cultivate that hit big time? None.
How about Drew McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre came from overseas. He didn't cultivate that talent.
Okay. Now, speaking of Brock, maybe we'll get to see Brock versus Gunther down the road.
I mean, now that he's been cleared by their legal team, that's going to happen. That's probably going to happen at WrestleMania. Because we all know Brock's going to come back for this. He's going to disappear again. Gunther, if I had to guess, is probably going to come back as a baby face.
That would not.
That's what they do when they take him off of TV. Like we all know, he had that nose surgery for whatever he had going on with the inside of his nose, and
Doesn't need
it
to be a baby face. Does not need to be a
no,
baby.
he doesn't. He needs to be one of their monster heels. But I have a feeling they're going to test the waters with him being a baby face, or at least the anti-hero kind of character, which
That's been
it's not
played so many times.
it's not going to work. Well, it's all because they wanted Stone Cold to be a heel. They wanted that to happen. But he was getting cheered no matter what they did. It didn't matter how absurd they made him do something, he still got cheered.
Yeah.
Same thing happened. The closest they've had to Stone Cold was John Cena. When John Cena was doing that whole thugonomics thing, he was saying bad shit to people. Like I sent you the video a couple weeks or like a week ago. Like he was chopping people up and they were still cheering for him. So that's the closest they've come to like an actual Stone Cold, but they're obsessed with trying to find the anti-hero guys, and Gunther's not going to be the guy, but I have a feeling they're going to try and push him as a babyface. And he needs to stay one of their monster heels because they lack good heels. There goes my dog.
Thug life. Well, that's your dog saying thug life. That's all. Look at that. Now he's thinking what his dog is talking about. When you said John Cena, your dog barks, bro.
What can I do? What can I do?
All right, we're going to finish this up on this last segment, Jamie's favorite segment. We're going to talk about the Usos as they came back together. They both on Raw. Jay and LA Knight, you know, they're not playing nice with each other. Division came out, said some things. You get Jay, Jimmy, and LA Knight. They all taking out Division. Bronson Reed pushes LA Knight almost into Jay. Jay thought that LA Knight was going to take him out, but it was just clearly, as we all seen it didn't happen. It almost did. LA Knight caught himself and asked him, "You good?" Backstage, Jay has this. I appreciate the edge, but he almost asked Jimmy, so you sound like Roman. Yo, we gotta get mine. We gotta get mine. And it's kind of like, wow, is Jay going through a character change? Now, when he came back out or later on night to help Jimmy, he spared LA Knight. And you get everybody on social media, oh man, Jay's going heel. Jay was catching some stray boos. I don't see Jay going heel. He's never going to go heel. Let's put it that way. That's not going to happen. He's their moneymaker. Everybody from, I don't know, Netflix, Peacock, USA, everybody would be mad if Jay was going to go heel. Of course, he is not. I think what they're doing is they are adding more to his character. I think they're trying to give him a little edge because let's keep it real. I mean, Jay has been a little soft. Not him particular, but his character has been a little soft. We're taking advantage of. He's been focused on getting his championship back, and LA Knight is focused on trying to be a champion. And both guys, because of their ego and their desire to be champion again, they're knocking heads. And if anybody goes heel, it'll be LA Knight, not Jey Uso. Jamie's favorite wrestler.
See, I figured you were going to get to this earlier. That's why I said I'm waiting for it.
I knew I had to finish up with this.
No, Jey Uso going heel would actually be the best thing for everybody because anybody that watched before Jimmy got hurt initially, like a couple of years ago when Jay started to get a little bit of a push, Jimmy was the one that was getting the push. Jimmy is the bigger star of the two guys. He just hasn't had the opportunity to show it anymore because everything got diverted to Jay. And I think, as we all know, WWE is about making everything as fair for everybody as they can, which is why, Sami Zayn is going to be the world champ.
Oh,
And it's one
definitely.
of those guys that are going to beat Sami Zayn, whether it's LA Knight, Jimmy, or Jay. One of those guys is probably going to be the one to beat Sami Zayn, because none of those guys are going to beat Drew McIntyre. So they have to weasel that way in somewhere. And Sammy's going to get his title so they can say he's a Grand Slam champ. But I do see Jey Uso going heel, Jimmy going face, Jimmy beating up Jay and getting his world title shot, because they're going to make sure that Jimmy gets one to balance it out with Jay. Because the only reason Jay ever got a chance to take off is because Jimmy got hurt.
Yeah, but see, I don't see it because you just brought the Usos back together.
You're not bringing them together.
They are together.
They're just involved in the same feud
well,
together.
well, yeah, but they are together. They're a team, not a team. I can say they're a tag team. I believe they could be a tag team until they want, but they're together. They're a team together, and I don't see them turning Jay heel when you made Jimmy a face, and now both brothers are face. They're together. I don't see them breaking.
You
them
did
up.
it with Jay when Jimmy was a heel, so that Jay could get his world title shots at Roman that he lost.
Yeah, but now I mean we all know that Jimmy is not don't have that in him.
They don't even call him Big Jim anymore. They're gonna do something with him. He's just
Right.
Jimmy now.
What I mean is like you're not going to see Jimmy be the world champion. Not now.
You
Not
never should
right
have saw
this
Jey
instant.
Uso as world champion, but you did.
Well, yeah, because you got to think about it. Jimmy was selling. He's one of the top sellers in merch. The crowd love him. How many times we see they yeet yeet yeet.
I mean, it's not hard to
He's
make a sheep
over.
yeet.
Yeah, he's really over. Jimmy's
Yeah.
not over.
And look at how much time they had to spend to get him to that point. And the only reason he got a chance to get to that point is because Jimmy got hurt.
Well,
Jimmy's had to sit back for like a year now and do nothing because all the time went to Jay. I'm willing to bet Jimmy's going to get his push. They're going to make Jay go heel.
No, you get that when Jimmy got hurt, Jay was getting his butt kicked by Roman.
No, we're talking about even before that. When Jimmy first started getting a push, Jimmy was getting all the singles matches. Jimmy was getting a push, and then he got hurt. So then instantly Jay got put into that because why not? And Jay started getting all the singles matches because we got to do something with him. Then he started to get a little bit of a push. Then the WWE paid that dude off to get the yeet and everything else. So,
well, hold on. You got to rewind that because when he started to get that first push as a single wrestler, Jimmy came back and
yeah, but they were already in the middle of a push. It's not like they're going to just stop the push to go back to Jimmy.
Right. So, but even then, he still wasn't popular with the yeet. Now that didn't even exist until he became a singles wrestler, and when Cody made that happen for him to go to Raw.
So you're looking at it from the wrestling perspective. You have to look at it from the real life perspective. His wife just had to give up her title because they're having a kid. His brother got to be world champ and got a year and a half long push because he got hurt for most of it. They're going to give him a shot with something, which means he's probably going to get the world heavyweight title because that's the world heavyweight title that nobody cares about. Let's be honest.
Well, if Jimmy get the title, it got to be one though. It got to be the IC title before he get the big title.
Well, of course they're going to give.
You got to see how what he does with it. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Jay, they can manipulate what they do. I mean, if you look at Jimmy or Jay's IC title run, it was boring. But
it was boring. But
they crowd noise. They pump in all that stuff. They can make it
but they also want to see how he does as IC champion.
Well, of course, like they're not just going to give the world heavyweight title.
Right, but just like they do with Sammy, they trying to see how Sammy.
That's why they have him defending the title on SmackDown. He's going to lose that title quick. This is just a turnover for him, real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, they want to see how he runs with it. So
I'm telling you, Jimmy's going to be world champ.
Okay, in 2031,
he'll probably have it for a couple days longer than Jay did.
All right. So we're gonna book it in 2031. Jimmy Uso will be world heavyweight champion.
2031. The Usos will be like 55.
They're only 40.
I was exaggerating, but still.
55.
Okay,
Damn.
they'll be on the better side of 50. How's that sound?
Damn. Damn. They like to say they're there with the Rock.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. Jamie Dog is calling him. He has to go check on his tribal chief.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought that's the cat. I thought the cat was the
Nah,
tribal chief.
the cat's nonstop.
Non-stop.
Nonstop.
So the bloodline with the cats and the tribal chief, the dog.
It's only one cat. One cat, one dog.
One cat, one. Oh, damn.
Not raising
Damn.
a kennel around here.
Damn. They got like 10 dogs and cats.
No, one dog, one cat. That's it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Signature and Finisher Podcast. DS Walk. 6 letters, 2 words, 3 vowels. Jamie.
It's a sometimes vowel, thank you. Why is sometimes?
Man.
Look at me going
It's
back
so
to elementary
good.
school.
And everybody, please remember, like and subscribe to our channel. We deeply
It's only
appreciate
going to
it.
get better and better and better.
Yes, if you want to see more of me and Jamie, please like and subscribe because we love doing what we do. We love talking to you guys and having off-topic conversation about wrestling and everything else. And if you see right behind me, that's like a little version of me, 6 letters, 2 words, 3 vowels. Jamie here. We are the tag team champions. So, just throwing it out there. So please like and subscribe our podcast and please comment. We deeply appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Later, everybody.
Later.